Hi, welcome. My name is Dale McCluskey, and on this video I'd like to discuss the issue of what I refer to as a flashover, and what a flashover represents by way of certain dogs that are holding a certain level of power, and how people can really get blindsided or caught off guard, especially with certain breeds such as pit bulls, as it relates to these highly empowering, dominant states of mind. And the issue with once the power gets to that level, relationally, why certain breeds won't give you much warning when they're expressing that state. So I've seen this happen many times personally, working with certain breeds. Why sometimes just a sideways look or something peripherally out of the corner of a dog's eye will set those dominoes, those relational dominoes in motion, and before you even really get a sense of what's even happening, you'll see the dog just express a highly aggressive state of mind, and it'll really catch people off guard, because it'll seem like it's just come out of nowhere, and the dog's rearing up on its back legs, and its teeth, its mouth is open, and it's just flashed over. And sometimes what happens is the dog, it'll flash over, and it'll just, it'll happen, not even be directed really at a certain, person, or it'll just be unleashed. And I've seen it happen to me, and it can be very unsettling, even though it'll appear almost like it's not connected. It's out of nowhere. The issue is it really is connected. It's not something that just really happens out of nowhere. What happens is dogs are holding a certain level of power, and how I'd really encourage you to go watch my video on what I define or refer to as relational triggers. How I refer to this: once dogs have expressed a level of power, and they've connected these relational dots, so through associations, through certain imagery will come together. And how I describe this imagery is kind of like the strokes of a paintbrush, where the picture or image takes shape within the dog's mind that is associated to being empowered at a high level. It could be scenarios or situations that represent that to dogs. And so what will happen is, peripherally, this is where that thing we talk about, instinctive behavior, but it goes beyond instinctive behavior. It goes into this whole core of what empowers the dog. It can be related to other dogs, situations that way, and usually it is incorporated within that picture, that imagery. But what will happen is, the more that picture takes shape a certain way in the dog's mind, and they become empowered through that, so they get a real kind of high out of that. What will happen is, that's why you'll see at the peripheral level just certain movements where those paint strokes are starting to take shape that the dog thinks is taking shape. Those dominoes will drop, and that's when you'll have that flash over, and you'll be like, wow, where did that come from? Nothing's really taking shape a certain way, but it's the expectation of that. Okay, the pieces, the dog thinks the pieces are taking shape, and that's a sign the dog's really at a high level of power that way. And it's something to be really aware of, so that the idea, because then we get to the issue of, okay, we have this taking place, how do we fix it? And again, I encourage you to go watch my video on structure, as it relates to bringing a dog within the follower script. This is where you follower moments. You start off in your home, but the idea is to start to open that door a bit, just a crack in the dog's mind in a very controlled way, and then we're closing it again by way of follower moments in the follower script. You have to keep opening and closing that door, but not allowing it to fully open up, because again, you have to know how to, what you're doing is you're treating everything within a very controlled way, controlled exercises. But especially with certain breeds, they can hold this level of power that can be, really an incredible amount. This is where the thing about relational triggers, or or you can call them association, you can call them whatever you want. But what it is, it's the imagery that's taking shape that is, becomes that to the dog, and these dominoes start falling that way. And what happens is it takes less and less dominoes, that take shape. It just has to be even fewer paint strokes. The dog is getting so wound up, becoming so empowered through that it doesn't take a whole lot of things to happen. That's why even peripherally, to say, wow, you see dogs even seeking out, they start air scenting. You'll see that they're seeking out in their mind. They're objectifying the person. And so you have to get to the relational core of it to fix it. You have to start to filter and bring that dog's decision-making process within the follower script. Okay, so just something to think about. As you start to get a sense of that. This is why dogs will, even within the home environment, destroy couches. They'll even kill other dogs, and because that power is going to come out. It's going to start to build up, come out, flash over, and that's when really bad things can happen. But again, it is fixable. It takes time. It takes putting a structure in place to control bad outcomes. The whole point of this is to create the circumstances so you can be successful, and that's what this training system is about, and this relational model is based on. So I encourage you to think about that. You can contact me anytime if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Hope you have a great day.